Hey everyone, welcome back to the archive. Today we're going to be looking at this Green Lantern number 30 from 1947. And you might be familiar with this comic if you've seen one of the last episodes of Johnny's comic stuff. Johnny is a fellow YouTuber who mainly focuses on pressing and cleaning, and he does a great job at it. He's really attention oriented and comes back with some amazing grades. And every now and then he's got, some Golden Age books on there. And this book really caught my attention. It's Golden Age, which is, obviously what I'm into, and I really love the Green Lantern. DC books are hard to come by. They're always really expensive. And there's a number of significant things about this issue other than the fact that it's Golden Age and Green Lantern. It's I think the first appearance, or at least the origin story of Streak the Wonder Dog, but it's also early work from Alex Toth. He got into comics in 1947, and if you know anything about Alex Toth, he's like the artist. A lot of comic book artists really love his work, and he actually got into mainstream comic books with issue number 28 of Green Lantern, and then he didn't do 29, but then he jumped right back on 30. So this is one of his earliest works. Johnny, as he was working on this book, he mentioned a number of major issues with it.
You can see here too along the top, this has gotten wet at some point. That's why it's all ripply and it's darker on the top edge. This may be a great book for conservation. I don't know. I'm sure Jason from Archivist to Drift will probably see this video. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna do my stuff on it, Jason. But is this the type of book you would look for when you're trying to do that style? Your conservation and stuff is. I feel like this is probably a good candidate for that type of stuff. But again, a lot of this will go away. It's probably gonna be, and you can see right here's where the water started to get it, and it got all the way up here, and that's where the edge of the cover's missing too. Probably gonna be cream pages. Maybe cream to off-white because it's a little bit wider in the front, but they're pretty browned up pages. Definitely will not be a brittle pages because they're not brittle. But yeah, you can even see how like crappy the wrap was back then. Like it's not wrapped evenly on the bottom.
In the comments, I had mentioned, well, if I had this book, I would do, X, Y, and Z. Johnny read those comments and was like, hey, why not take a crack at it? And I kind of at first was like, well, I don't really like to work on other people's books just because, I'm always kind of concerned about the kind of damage I might, unintentionally do to them. There's always risk involved in conserving comic books. But, he mentioned, there's not much you can do to make this comic book worse. It's got it's attached cover. It's pretty beat as is, and he can only do so much with it himself. And so let's take it out real fast and give it a look over. And I believe you mentioned that the cover was completely split, or getting there. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not completely split, but halfway. He also mentioned that the staples were completely shot and they don't look great. He's right about that. He didn't think that they were salvageable, but there might be some life in these yet, so we'll have to take a look at that. There is a number of rips through the centerfold here. I'm assuming going all the way through, or at least through several pages. There's obviously going to be rust migration here. And there's water damage. Let's just look at the cover here. Yeah, so we have water damage, we have some color bleed through. He did a great job of dry cleaning this, so it'll be nice not to have to worry about that while working on this book. He mentioned that he wasn't sure if this was a scrape into the comic or if it was a piece of a comic that had adhered to the book once it got wet. I think it's actually that latter one because it looks here, yeah, there's definitely material back here that can be pulled up. You know, like I said, it's very well dry cleaned, but a wet clean could take more of the major issues out of this. When books have water damage on them, sometimes you have to be a little concerned with the possibility of color bleed when you're doing an aqueous bath. And so that's something I'd want to keep an eye on while doing a bath. I also want to keep an eye on further splitting all the way down the spine because that does happen. But I think there's enough spine here that might not happen in this case. All right, let's look at these wraps real fast. So the artwork in the interior is really nice. So it's going to need tear seals. Every wrap, I mean, these wraps are really dirty. So every wrap is going to need a bath. I'm going to have to do tear seals around the staple holes that have been ripped out, at least in the centerfold there. Now this book's got that strong, you know, classic book smell to it, you know. I love that smell. Yeah, the artwork is really great. All right, well, this will be a fun book to work on. So let me go ahead and get started on the cover here, and because that's going to be my main concern. Let's see how clean I can get it without ripping up the spine and without color bleed. All right, let's get started. Okay, I've got my aqueous solution here. Just going to really keep an eye out for color bleed and any kind of speckling and try to take it out right away if I see anything like that. All right, I think I did see a little color bleed in that first bath, but it didn't seem too bad. And it looks like I got quite a bit of dirt out of there. So I'm gonna do one more bath and again, just keep an eye on the cover. I'm actually between baths here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can pull this up now. I got a lot of this piece off here that was kind of on the cover. It looks like it was part of a different comic that was sticking to the back of the cover. I got most of the paper off, but I think just what's remaining is the ink, and it's really hard to get in there and get the rest of this ink off without pulling up some of the original ink of the book. So it's really delicate work here. Also, I'm going to use some Evapo-Rust to see if I can take out the stain a little bit where the bottom staple hole was at. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that before I let this completely dry. Okay, here's some of the foreign matter I pulled up from that back cover. I had to kind of stop where I was at because I was beginning to pull up some ink on the original book, so I didn't want to do that. There was already some color lost around that area. So it's currently drying. In the meantime, let's go ahead and pull the staples on this book and see if I can rescue these at all. Let me just show you the condition of the staple. That's what I'm dealing with, so it'll be fun. The bottom one is in a lot better condition, but still rusty. All right, yeah, I think Johnny was right about this top staple. It seems like it's pretty well gone, but the bottom staple might be salvageable. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. The back of the staple. Might crumble as I'm pulling it out. So that's what we're dealing with here. and that top leg is about to bust in pieces. Okay, so this wrap is dry now, and I'm happy to report that there was very little additional color loss. Removed all kinds of little stains. There was like little blue stains out in white here, and a few other stains throughout the book. Most of those are gone now. Most of them have been lifted. Even the staple rust, the stains around the staple rust have been heavily mitigated. They're way less intense. I probably will cut out just a little bit of the area around the staples where I couldn't get all the rust out. You want to get rid of as much of the rust from a book as you possibly can. This stain up here has been reduced quite a bit, and so yeah, the outside cover is looking really great. And then also, all right, so I still see a little bit of the water stain around here. I might be able to do a little bit of light bleaching to pull a little bit more of this out. Maybe I'll do like a half an hour, and I won't wet the book down at all, but I'll just throw it in the humidification tank for a bit, and see if I can bring down some of the reds that bled through and this water stain here. So yeah, I think I'll do that. And of course, again, I need to remove as much of this staple rust as possible. Okay, I went ahead and blue light bleached this inside cover just a little bit, and there's still a little bit of a red tint up here. Not a big deal. It did diminish, I think, the water stain a little bit, which is pretty much what I was going for. It really killed me to have to do this, but there is a lot of rust that was migrated onto this paper here, and if I didn't cut this out, like I said, it would have just kept on chewing through, and it would have been bad for the book in general. Evapor rust works pretty well, but once it gets out all the black areas, like with some of these wraps, like all this black staining around here, I can probably get most of that off. But once it starts turning brownish red, you really can't do anything about that, unfortunately. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do with this cover is I need to color match the spine so I can put in a new spine. I can leaf cast a new spine in. Okay, I think I got a pretty close match already made up. It's very close, I would say, to the exterior. All right, well, let's wet this down. All right, here we go. Okay, moment of truth. I think we're good. I don't see any color bleed at all. Wow, what a relief. I mean, there's no more speckling here that I can see than was here originally. That is great. Okay, cool. I feel so much better now. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and size this wrap. It's real floppy right now, and you need to add back a little bit of some structure to it. So you do that by basically you can size it with like gelatin or methyl cellulose. I already did a little bit of methyl cellulose sizing to it earlier, but that wasn't enough. So I'm going to have to do a gelatin sizing. And I have a gelatin mixture in here. It's just gelatin and water, heated to about 140 degrees after it's been fully bloomed. Okay, while we're waiting for that cover to completely dry, I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning up these internal wraps. I think this is the most damaged of the wraps as far as this middle section. Okay, so I'm not gonna record the cleaning of every single one of these internal wraps, but just for this first wrap, I think I'll show it. And so my aqueous solution is mostly filtered water with calcium hydroxide solution, and then just a couple of drops of surfactant, Triton X. And it's pretty hot. Well, not hot, it's very warm. So as dirty as the wraps appear, there doesn't look like there's a whole lot of tannins in them. So they're not very brittle, so they must not be very acidic. Okay, before I put this wrap into the cold press to dry, I'm just gonna hit some of these rust spots with some evapor rust to see if I can clean up some of this paper. You know, the less paper I have to excise from the wrap, the better, obviously. Usually where the rust is darker is where you see the most results. So we'll see what we can do here. Okay, so all these wraps have been washed, cleaned. All the rust migration along the gutters here has been removed. There was a lot of black along these pages, and that's all gone now, so that's great. Now I'm gonna start leaf casting. So I only have a little bit of this furnish left, so I really hope I have enough to fill all these holes, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, I went ahead and grabbed one of these wraps, so let's see how this came out. Wow, that looks really good. It's like a perfect match. Wow. That's awesome. Very, very happy with this. You can barely tell it's even there. That's awesome. Wow, okay. Well, this worked out pretty well. Okay, so I was able to clean up the staples pretty well from the book, but the top staple is pretty chewed up. So I needed a donor book, and I was able to grab this Date with Judy. I don't know if it's a remainder copy or what, but Date with Judy off of eBay for fairly cheap. And this is a June, July 1948. Should be right around the time that the staple for this book came out. The Green Lantern is February, March 48. So we're right around the same time period. The staples should be pretty darn close. And the book looks pretty clean. I don't see any rust. So here are our staples and they look good. Yeah, so I mean, these are both DC books, so the staples should be right. Let me go ahead and remove them. So I had to do a lot of stuff off camera. The staples were giving me a lot of issues. Not so much actually just putting them in, but trying to find perfect placement. The top staple hole had to be pretty much recreated because of all the rust that had gone through all the pages. And I was having a major issue with placement altogether because I couldn't figure out where the fold was supposed to be. And let me show you the finished book here. Maybe I can explain. All right. All right, there we go. Actually doesn't look, actually looks pretty good. So I had to rebuild the spine, as you know. But my issue was these staples are essentially on the back of the book. And, you know, as you look at the centerfold here, they're basically, you know, on this back page instead of being centered. And that had me all messed up because I was trying to fold the spine with staples that were mis-centered. I worked on this for like 2 or 3 nights, just trying to, like, you know, removing the staples, putting the staples back in, folding, unfolding, just trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. It wasn't until I looked at Johnny's original video and he had mentioned the overhang, and I was like, oh, so, you know, so if he had pressed it as he was intending to, I think, initially, he probably would have ended up with the same situation. So this is pretty much the finished product. I have to use a little methyl cellulose up here because the spine's kind of coming out a little bit. I think overall it looks fairly good from where it was. You know, if I could, it doesn't look perfectly squared off, but I always struggle with that. And I hope Johnny won't mind that I wasn't able to get this perfect. You know, he's a pretty good presser, so if he needs to repress it, I'm sure he could do it right. But that stated, I think we did a pretty good job. You know, his dry cleaning and my leaf casting. I think I'm not unhappy with this. You know, the perfectionist side of me always thinks that I could have done more, and it's not perfect, but I think it'll do. Thanks for visiting. Check out Johnny's channel, Johnny's Comic Stuff. He's a fantastic presser and cleaner, and I think you'll really, you know, if you like my channel, I think you'll really love his as well. And thank you very much. Talk to you later. Bye now.